Hey guys, welcome back to Red TV. Big things to be getting into. Man United making moves, yeah, I'm not going to lie. These last couple of weeks I've been thinking, not even last couple of weeks, it's been 2 months now since that De Jong situation has come about, maybe 6-7 weeks. Look guys, honestly, I've been thinking we're not going to be making any signings at all, because Man United at this point, look, it's tunnel vision for us. It was tunnel vision for us until what, maybe a week ago, where I've heard of this left back Tyrell Malacia or Malacia, however you want to pronounce his name. I think it's Malacia. It seems like, look, we're making moves now. What does that make me think? It makes me think that this De Jong deal, a lot of reports are coming out the last couple of days saying this deal is pretty close. This deal could be done. Look, they said 30th. It's the 1st of July today, so that's gone. But for me, like I've been saying it the last couple of weeks, I think this deal is going to take until the end of the window. I don't think it's going to be one of the ones where we're going to get done in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I don't think so. I think this is a deal that is... Look, I'm going to put my opinion from before away. I need to look at this from a different angle, outside the box, right? We're making moves now for this left back that I'm not really aware of, and I have seen some clips of him before, but not really aware of him, to be completely honest with him. Not a player I'd really think about. He's a good passer of the ball. He's strong. A good left back. He's going to be one of these left backs who's going to give Shaw some competition. And look, Shaw was already struggling with Alex Telles, and Alex Telles for me is a player you can't really play in the back four system. I think he's more of a left wing back, to be completely honest with you. And look, yes, a left wing back still needs the defensive duties, defensive discipline, and strengths in defence, of course, as well as going forward. But I think Telles in the back four is a liability in the left back position. And look, I've said it a lot of times. I don't think Luke Shaw and Alex Telles are players who are, look, I don't think there's that much between them. I do like Shaw. I think he's a good left back. I don't think he's a world-class left back. Yes, he had one very good season, and he's been very inconsistent for Man United the last 6-7 seasons with Luke Shaw. So when it comes to Malacia, Tyrell Malacia, Alex Telles, Luke Shaw, we could see one of these left backs go. Some of these younger players will need to start coming in next season as well. You've got the likes of Hannibal, Garnacho, all of these players here next season. Will they be given a chance? That's the question for me. And I think, look, Ten Hag's got a good history with young players. I do think that some of these players will be given a chance next season. I think Garnacho, again, a player who just had his birthday the other day, is getting older. And he's still very young. Is he 20 now? Or I think he's 20, so he's still incredibly young. But within the next few seasons, he's going to have to start getting integrated into this team, because players like Ronaldo, obviously he's got one more season, maybe 2 max. Even the likes of Bruno, they're going to enter their prime, and then, you're going to need some of these younger players to start getting integrated into the team. So, McTominay, Fred, some of these players, pundits still class them as young players, but they're not. McTominay's 25, 26, not really that young anymore. Fred, 29. So Rashford's getting up there, 20, 25, 26, still relatively young, but, in a couple of years, this is their prime now. They're entering their prime for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So you're going to have to start integrating some of these young players. So it's going to be a good competition at left back for Luke Shaw and even Telles if he stays next season. I think, who would I rather stay? Probably Shaw. I don't think there's that much between them. I do think Luke Shaw is a bit better in the left back position. A lot of people will think I'm crazy. I think he's just a bit better. I've seen a lot of defensive errors from Luke Shaw last season, and I'll blame the midfield for that, and I'll blame Maguire, because I do think Luke Shaw and Maguire don't have a good partnership in the defence. So we have to see what happens there. But look, in terms of Frankie de Jong, this is why I'm getting into Frankie de Jong, because I do think that this deal is close for us to be straight. I thought that this deal was going to be incredibly hard to be done, and I do think that at the end of the day, we're going to be chasing de Jong. And even though de Jong is going to be a hard player to get, if we're 80, 90%, we need to start making moves, because de Jong could be, almost there. But if it's one of them things where, look, I'm still questioning it, because I don't think de Jong wants to be here. Koeman has come out and said that de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona again the last couple of days, and this is where I get my doubts, because we're talking about an international manager who's saying that he wants to stay. We're talking about a big manager who said he wants to stay at Barcelona. And, it's going to be hard. I don't know what to expect right now, because it might be close. But if he doesn't want to be here, I've been saying it for time now, it's going to be a difficult deal to get done, in my opinion. But look, this left back is basically done. I think it still needs to be announced properly. And then we've been linked to also Dybala. I think Dybala is one of these players who we've been linked to for the last couple of weeks. But in the last couple of days, it's starting to get a bit popular, this talk about Dybala. I think Dybala, look, I think at the end of the day, he's a player who I don't know how he would do in the Premier League. I think Dybala, he's more of a second striker and playing in the cam. You could even play him up front by himself, to be completely honest. But when he played with Ronaldo, he played as more as a... Sometimes Ronaldo played on the wing. Sometimes he played Dybala as a second striker. Sometimes in midfield. You know, he would be an interesting player for us. But where would you play him? Would you play him as a striker or Ronaldo? Because there's not many striking options right now. You've got Rashford, who's going to be playing on the left. Martial might stay next season. There's been talks about how Ten Hag really wants to assess Martial in pre-season and to see if we're going to keep him. And if he wants to be, used next season, I'm pretty sure right now Ten Hag is going to be like, do I want to use Martial next season? He's one of our striking options. We don't have any striker that we're linked to right now, and it's going to be hard to buy strikers now because I can't think of any. So, should we go with Dybala, someone who can play in the striker position, who can play as a second striker? It really depends on the plans and the strategies that Ten Hag is going to have to implement next season, because I'm not sure what to expect. I'm not. Is he going to go for 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3? These are formations that he's used to playing. Could he go for a back five? I wouldn't. I wouldn't entertain it, a back five, but he might think, look, we might get all the positions we need. We're going to miss out a fullback for sure. I mean, obviously Malacia left back is a good signing. I don't know much about him, but I'll do some more research about him as well. So we need to see what happens there. But in terms of the right back position, what's more of a priority for us, left back or right back? I would say right back, because I would say that Wan-Bissaka, a player I don't necessarily rate. Dalot is still, a player who's up and down. I've talked to a lot of people saying that they rate him, they see potential in him, and I've talked to people who don't really rate him at all. So for me, I think Dalot is the better right back in my opinion. But then again, I don't think he's ready to fulfill that right back position as a starting player for Manchester United. So he's going to need competition next season, and that might just be competition between Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. We could play a back five with Dalot, Maguire, Varane, and a new centre back, and Lindelof maybe, or we can get a new centre back and it could be Varane, Lindelof, and Pau Torres or whoever we're linked to, and then we can play Malacia at left back, Luke Shaw. Keep interchanging those fullback positions. Midfield, if you're playing a 5-3-2, wherever, you can play Fred, you can play Van de Beek. We still need a defensive midfielder, and this is where Martinez comes in. Lisandro Martinez, we've been linked to him, 40 million bid, I think it was, for him. He's a good player. He can play centre back, he can play defensive midfield, and that's the position we really need, because the last couple of seasons we haven't got any. We talked about Sancho last season, Ronaldo and Varane. We didn't get defensive midfielder, and this is a position we still need. Look, you got Martinez, who can play in the CDM role, and you can play in that centre back. I wouldn't really want to play him at centre back if we're going to get a new centre back, because if we don't get a centre back but we get Martinez, he might be played in the centre back position unless really Ten Hag wants to see what Maguire's about. So I would take Martinez. Malacia's basically already done. And look, I think this is the young thing we have to wait and see. So in terms of that striker position, Dybala, I like Dybala. I think he's one of them players which is unpredictable right now. I don't know what he would do in the Premier League. In the Serie A's where we've seen him, he's had injuries, he's had times where he's been inconsistent. He's a good player, Dybala, but I don't know how he would manage in the Premier League. So guys, let me know what you think. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.